Good afternoon. Today's topic is on creativity and inspiration based off a project I made recently called Forced Associations. So here's a question. Have you ever felt like you were having a creative block? Like you were kind of out of inspiration, you just couldn't get started on any project? I bet we all have. It's a pretty normal and common thing. Many creative minds go through it on a daily, but we gotta admit it's kind of annoying when you really have to get something done and you kind of just don't know where or how to get started. So we're kind of gonna discuss a little bit on what is a creative process and what are some methods or tips to basically get some inspiration. First of all, I think we need to talk a little bit of what is creativity and what is inspiration. So, creativity is basically the use of imagination or your original ideas to create some kind of artistic production, and inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to feel or do something on this kind of creative path. As we can kind of see, creativity and inspiration go hand to hand, especially when we're talking about doing creative work. Inspiration is basically everywhere and anywhere you can imagine. There are a lot of ways to get inspired or get this stimulation to get your creative flowing. Some frequently used methods are brainstorming, creating mood boards, sketching, researching on the topic that you're working on. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the combination of all of these uh, what will be giving you this, or what will be helping you have this great idea you need for your project. This specific project I was working on is called Forced Association, which basically consists of them giving you two completely random words that probably have nothing to do with each other and have nothing in common, and you kind of have to find a common ground in between them to come up with a concept for a poster. And the words that I was given were butterfly and candle. So I proceeded to first of all do a brainstorm on each of the words, trying to find synonyms or basically anything that I found that related to each of the words, so I could proceed to find something in common. In this case, I found that the fact that they both go through some sort of change is what they had in common. The butterfly being like kind of the metamorphosis process, and the candle basically being that it melts down, it changes, while the fire burns out. So this kind of led me into developing a more concrete concept of change, which is the cycle of life. Any kind of cycle of life, the cycle of life of a butterfly, of a candle, of a creative process, of us, even kind of giving me this metaphoric concept that I could adapt to many situations. So I kind of decided that I wanted to represent it graphically on my poster. I kind of wanted to give out the message that everything that starts has an ending, and everything that lights up has to shut down at some point. So I basically decided to represent the life cycle of a fire butterfly. From the flame it is born to the ashes where it dies. And this led me to start my sketching process of the graphic elements and the diagrammation I kind of wanted for my poster. I wanted to do kind of where you could see the process, like the flame then the cocoon, then the butterfly opening up, and at its brightest moments, then the butterfly dying and kind of turning into ashes. And I wanted to give it this sort of flow between stages. So that's kind of what I came up with on the sketching process. And finally, this is the finished piece, where we can see very clearly the concept on the graphics and an harmonic color palette, and a copy kind of supporting the concept behind the whole graphic thing. And at the end, it was a great project to kind of challenge creativity, and I really think that's what the professor was going for, kind of digging for inspiration to come up with a coherent concept was pretty hard. It was difficult, it took me many days, but I think that at the end I am really happy with the results. And this is kind of why I developed the topic of creativity and inspiration based of this specific project. Thank you.